Hey everybody, Ryan here at etrailer.com. Today on our 2016 Toyota Highlander, we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install the etrailer.com Class 3 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. Many of our Highlander owners plan on using their SUVs to do a little bit of everything. So whether it's freeing up space on the inside of your car with a cargo carrier, carrying a few bikes with a rack, or even pulling a trailer, this hitch is going to work great for all those things. Since the hitch does have that 2-inch by 2-inch opening, our options for hitch-mounted accessories are going to be virtually endless. And since the end of our receiver tube is going to sit pretty much flush with the edge of our bumper, it's going to work really well for those folding accessories. Now, compared to some other hitches out there, this one is going to be a little bit more visible. However, personally, I kind of like it. To me, it looks like it just flows with the car nicely and seems to be a part of it. Out of all the hitches that I've seen, this one probably has the most durable finish. It's going to be a matte black carbide finish, which is going to hold up really well against the elements, look good, and it's going to be very scratch resistant. The hitch is going to have a reinforced collar for extra strength, and it's also going to have the standard size 5/8 pinhole. Now keep in mind, it does not come included with a pin and clip, but if you need one, you can find it here at etrailer.com. It's also going to have very large safety chain openings, but you shouldn't have any problem using any size hook that you might have. And since this is a Class 3 hitch, it's going to be great for towing and has some pretty impressive weight capacities. Our hitch's maximum gross tongue weight rating is going to be 900 pounds. That's going to be the amount of weight pushing down on our hitch. So that's going to work perfect for just about any accessory, whether it be a large cargo carrier or those 1 to 4 bike racks. And when it comes to maximum gross trailer weight rating, that's going to be 6,000 pounds, the amount of weight pulling on our hitch. That's the weight of your trailer plus anything you might have on it. Now the hitch can be used with the weight distribution system, which is a separate component. However, if you are using that, our maximum gross trailer weight rating does increase to 8,000 pounds. The maximum tongue weight rating does remain the same at 900. Now, it is always a good idea to check with your Highlander's owner's manual to make sure your SUV can pull that much weight. And if you do plan on doing a little bit of towing, I'd recommend picking up some trailer wiring. That way you'll be safe and legal as you pull your trailer down the road. Now I'm going to give you a couple of measurements. From the ground to the top inside edge of the receiver tube opening, that's about 15.5 inches. And you're going to use that to figure out if you need to get a ball mount with either a drop or a rise. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the edge of our rear bumper, that's going to be about 2 inches. And you're going to use that to help figure out if any folding accessories you might have can be stored in the upright position without contacting our back bumper. Many of our customers said they didn't really have any issues at all getting the hitch installed, but we'll go ahead and still walk you through how to do it now. To begin our installation, over here on the passenger side, right here above our tailpipe, we're going to have a little plastic air deflector that we need to trim up to make some room for our hitch. As I said, this is this thin plastic, and there is a diagram and instructions that'll tell you where to mark it. I went ahead and already marked ours. That way I can cut it. Now you can use a knife, a pair of 10 snips. However, I'm going to be using a Dremel tool to get that trimmed off. Now we're going to come over to the driver's side and we need to remove this plastic underbody panel. We're going to first start by doing that by removing the 2 plastic pushpin fasteners. One here and one here. So to do that, we'll take a flathead screwdriver, kind of work underneath the head of the fastener, and we can grab it and work it down. Now we're going to take out the 3 10mm bolts. One here, here, and here. Now if we move to the inside, here next to our spare tire, we're going to have 2 plastic 12mm nuts. Now you can typically do these by hand. And loosen them up. And then what you usually have to do is kind of grab the panel and put some downward pressure on it while you're unscrewing that nut to get it to break free. We can grab our panel, just work it out from under the vehicle and set it off to the side. On the driver's side, on the bottom of our frame rail, we're going to have some plugs that we need to remove. 2 of them will just be rubber plugs. You can just take a flathead and kind of pry them out from the frame rail. And these 3 will actually be threaded. So we'll take our flathead and just unscrew those. Now on the passenger side, we're going to have 2 rubber plugs that we'll need to take out, as well as our tow hook. Now if your vehicle doesn't have the tow hook, what you would do is just remove all the plugs, just like we did on the driver's side. To remove our tow hook, we'll use a 17mm socket and remove those 2 bolts. Now if we move a little further back on our frame rail, we're going to have this metal tab that we need to remove. To do that, we'll first start by taking out this 10mm bolt, and then we can remove the 17mm bolt. Now with an extra set of hands, we can lift our hitch into place. Over on the passenger side, you're going to have to kind of slide it on top of your exhaust. We can push it up against our frame rail and secure it using a bolt and a conical tooth washer. You want to make sure that the teeth on the washer are going to face up towards the hitch. These will just thread right into our factory weld nuts. Now you want to get one started on each side. That way the hitch will stay in place while we work on the rest of the bolts. With the hitch in place, we can now install the rest of our hardware for the remaining holes. We're going to use that same combination for all of them, which includes that bolt and that conical tooth washer. With all of our hardware in place, we can go ahead and snug it all down. Now we can use a torque wrench to tighten all of our hardware down to the specification found in the instructions. Now we can trim our underbody panel according to the diagram in the instructions. And I went ahead and marked it out just to give you a good idea what it's going to look like. Now I'm going to use a Dremel tool to make those cuts. However, you can use a utility knife or a set of shears. With our panel trimmed, we can now go ahead and put it back in place and secure it in the opposite order that we removed it. And that'll finish up our look at and our installation of the etrailer.com trailer hitch receiver on our 2016 Toyota Highlander.